Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Black Ops 6 beta. It's gotta be said, this beta so far has been ridiculously sweaty. Some people are enjoying that. Some people enjoy the super sweaty competitive aspect of COD, where I feel like a lot of us, myself included, miss the days when we could just chill out and play video games and not feel like there's money on the line every time you get into a gunfight in Team Deathmatch at 9:30 p.m. on a Monday. You know what I mean? Like, there's gotta be some in between there, right? But the thing about skill-based matchmaking is here in this beta, it is cranked up to infinity, and I'm sure you guys expected that, right? But today I have proof of that. I finally crossed over into the dark side. I am somebody who has never reverse boosted or made new accounts or anything, but in the name of science, I wanted to see just how sweaty and how thick skill-based matchmaking is in the COD franchise. For me, every match feels the same. I've said so many times on my live streams that when I'm playing the beta, and it's to be expected, again, there's not very many maps, there's not very many guns, it's the closed beta, therefore people have to pre-order or have Game Pass to play, therefore, you know, the sweatiest of the sweaty are going to be playing the beta at this time. They figured out the Jackal was the best gun, they lubricated their butt cheeks up, and now they're just sliding across the map, shooting at everybody and trying to get TikTok ad revenue, man. Like, it's just, every game feels like that. Every game feels the same. I keep telling myself that it's not even like I'm playing a multiplayer game anymore. It's like I'm playing a single player game with the difficulty ramped up to veteran, therefore every single match feels the same. The names may change, but everybody plays the same, you know? So I thought, how about we see how the other side lives? I want to see how thick this matchmaking is, and it's actually very easy to do that. All you need is a new Activision ID, which all you have to do is get a brand new email account for that. Then from there, I went and got the PC Game Pass for $1, which you can even refund that $1 within 30 days, so you can get your dollar back even. And so with a new Activision ID and a $1 PC Game Pass, I now have a fresh account. Here is the father of four, retired plumber, volunteer firefighter, and leader of the local Boy Scout troop. Just trying to jump in after playing some GoldenEye all these years to try out Call of Duty for the very first time. That's me, and I could not believe what it was like when I got into my very first game, man. Like, it's a whole different experience entirely. Like, the skill-based matchmaking is so thick in the COD franchise now that for me, every match feels the same. Every match is like super sweaty and people sliding and PDWs and like Twitch TV names and everything. Whereas for these guys, this is what COD is like for them. Every single match. And I live streamed this all today, and honestly, my voice is kind of shot, but like, I was laughing so much. It was just such a different experience. I felt like I was in a Discovery Channel documentary or something. Like, here's the father of four grazing in the center of the map when suddenly he's ambushed by the thumbless tiger. Thankfully, the tiger could not hit any of his shots, and the father of four survives so he can try to feed his four children. Like, I couldn't believe how these lobbies went, man. It's like I'm playing an entirely different game. I just played for hours like this, where I'm trying not to make the matchmaking system like figure out like what I am and who I am and everything. So intentionally, I would just aimlessly walk around the map. I would miss bullets on purpose, basically just doing everything I can to try to trick the algorithm, because I just wanted to get into these lobbies and just run around in them. It's not like I'm one of those people reverse boosting trying to get nukes or anything like that. In fact, I did run into somebody today who clearly reverse boosted to get into those lobbies. I forget the score, but he got like 70 something kills or something like that. I don't know if he's a YouTuber or a live streamer or whatever the hell, but clearly he reverse boosted to get there. It was pretty freaking funny. But aside from him, every lobby was just so continuously and consistently like this, where everybody just doesn't really know how to walk, they don't know how to aim, they don't really know how to do anything. This is like the very lowest bracket of skill-based matchmaking, the very bottom of the skill-based matchmaking bracket, and frankly, these people are having more fun than we are. I guarantee you that. They are having so much more fun playing these lobbies, not because they're easy, but because they're relaxed and they're casual, the same way Call of Duty used to be. There was this one match I was playing where this guy who didn't have the best mic in the world, but you can still make out what he's saying, you can still understand it. I find him, he's messing around with the RCXD, and he's trying to figure out how to control it, and I don't blame him. That freaking RC car is hard to control in this game. But watch what happens right here.
I'm trying to control the damn remote control tab. Bam! Got one.
Dude blew up his RC car on his own teammate. He's like, yep, got one. He was like so stoked about it, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, this is what Call of Duty kind of used to be like. Obviously, it wasn't exactly like this, because this is like manipulative, algorithmic nonsense where every person in this lobby is the exact same as every other person in the lobby, essentially. And truth be told, looking back at this footage, I kind of felt like a dick. Like, I felt like I was like intruding almost. Like, I felt bad for being here. Like, man, like these guys are just out here. They're enjoying the game. They're having fun. fun, and me showing up almost seems like I'm bullying them in a way. But the thing is, it's not my fault necessarily. It's Activision's fault for taking these people, like these grown adults, most of them probably, and without their knowledge or consent, just putting them in lobbies like this constantly, giving them the illusion that this is what Call of Duty is like. And when you see those other people like on YouTube or Twitch or anywhere on social media or whatever, those people are probably cheating. Normal Call of Duty is like what you play in your matches. So them, this is just COD, and I'm telling you guys, I guarantee they're having way more fun than we are. This just goes to prove how ridiculously thick skill-based matchmaking is. Like, I have like 8 hours or so, 9 hours, 10 hours, something crazy of the Black Ops 6 beta streamed over on my Twitch, and you can go look and you can see how every lobby is sweaty, how every lobby is the exact same as the one before and the one that's going to come after it. Everything is just so cyclical when it comes to the matchmaking in this game. That is how thick skill-based matchmaking is. That's how they figure out, based on their patents and everything, where they track everything from your movement to your weapon accuracy to your kill death ratio to the time you spend on the objective to everything, man. They track every single little minute detail about your character and then try to put you in lobbies with other people that are exactly like that. And that goes across the entire spectrum of the Call of Duty community. You have your pro players there who play other people that like play like they're pros and love league play and everything. Then you have like your normal people like me, I would assume, who just like old school COD and just like to be able to play the game and level up their guns and get their camos and everything. But still, because I go positive way more than I don't, I have to deal with sweaty skill-based matchmaking all the time, all the way down to people like this who just clearly are just playing the game because they find it fun, they find it enjoyable, and they go in and their lobbies are like this every single time. And I will say I was kind of a jerk because there are some funny things you can do in lobbies like this. Like even like running around like you guys have been watching me, you can still pull out 3 KDs without even trying to. And there was a couple of times where like I'm walking up and these guys are going up to try to capture the B flag and domination, and just to try to entertain my live stream and everything, I would pick them up and talk to them in proximity chat and tell them, all right, I like my B flag a lot, I'm gonna have to ask you not to come near my B flag, and then walk him away from it, and then go up and do the exact same thing to another guy. Towards the very end of the match, there was this guy playing the objective, and I feel like such an asshole, but I walked up behind him and I grabbed him. I'm like, we're gonna take your B flag here right at the very end of the match, I'm gonna hold you here so you have to watch. And I just felt like such a dick, but it was funny, and just, I don't know, man, like, it's crazy how the skill-based matchmaking in this game absolutely manipulates everything. Like, there's people out there who are playing a completely different game than you or I. And I think ultimately a lot of people believe that people like myself, and maybe a lot of you out there, that maybe we always want lobbies like this. We want to be able to drop nukes every single game. We want to just beat up on bad players all the time. It's not true, man. It just isn't. When I play Call of Duty or any shooter game online, X-Defiant's a great example of that. I just want to get into a match based on connection, and I want the match to just be a bunch of random people all thrown together, some better than me, some worse than me, some the same as me, and we just go out there and we play and may the better man win. And I want to be able to relax while I'm doing it, man. If I'm leveling up my pistols or if I'm going for my dark matter camo, I don't want to have to just be facing people who are playing like it's league play constantly 24/7. It doesn't make for a fun experience. And if you're one of those people out there who do enjoy that sweaty competitive environment, well, ranked play is a thing, yet for some reason you don't really play ranked play, you just sweat in public matches, which is really weird of you. Go play ranked play, man. It's there for a reason. I will always and forever be against the idea of skill-based matchmaking being in a casual playlist, because I feel like overall for the community it's the best thing for everybody. If you're somebody like the people in these lobbies who are just running around and they're having a hard time figuring out like how their controllers work and everything, we were all there at one point. I mean, a lot of us were way back in the day. You know, for me back in Call of Duty 4, you know, the craziest thing is after my live stream where we messed around on this account for a little bit before going back to my main account to try out the new maps and try out all that stuff, you know, I tweeted to the Call of Duty Twitter to get my beta combat record, and without even trying, like literally, like you guys are just like watching me like run around like shooting and missing and just dicking around in general, I still somehow had a .77 KD, which is ridiculous because when I started Call of Duty 4 back in 2007, and longtime fans of the channel, you might remember this number, I had a .77 KD trying my absolute ass off. I just wasn't any good at the game, but I wanted to get better because I saw other people that were better than me at the game, and I wanted to improve, and eventually I fell in love with the Call of Duty franchise. I worry, and I might be wrong here, this might be Activision proving a point, I worry that the people in these lobbies are eventually just never going to fall in love with COD the same way I did, because they just, all their matches are like this. Every single game is just like this, and you know what? They're probably just happy being there. They're happy to get 14 kills in a full-length game of domination. Maybe Maybe they're having a blast doing that. I don't know. I can't speak for them. But at the same time, these people, a lot of them are running around with the $100 pre-order bundles as well. So maybe they really do like their skill-based matchmaking bracket. Maybe they like being at the very bottom of the bracket there, where every single match is chill and relaxed. And maybe that's what keeps them coming back every single year. And maybe that's why they keep spending so much money on microtransactions and why Activision keeps skill-based matchmaking in the game. If the vast majority of the community is like this and experiences COD like this, well, no wonder it makes $1 billion every year. But if you're somebody like me, and I'm sure many of you out there watching this video, let's face it, most of you, all of you watching this video, if you're watching old NerosCinema talk about skill-based matchmaking on the internet, you're probably a pretty hardcore COD fan, let's be real here. But for people like us, we're stuck in like the very top part of skill-based matchmaking, where the game, just for me anyway, just isn't very fun long term. Like, it might be fun while you're going for your dark matter camo, but once I'm done with the dark matter camo, it's like, now I don't have anything to grind for in the game, and all my matches are just sweaty and competitive and just exhausting. You know what I mean? So I wish there was more variety in the COD franchise. I truly do. I wish it was more like the X-Defiant matchmaking, where it's just completely random. People get thrown in. Some are good, some are bad, some are amazing, some are terrible, and you just go in there and you have fun, you play the game, and it's relaxing. You know, for the other part of the community out there, the people you guys have been watching throughout this video, I bet COD's freaking relaxing for them. They're probably just having a blast playing the game right now, whereas for me, man, playing an hour of COD is literally physically and mentally exhausting for me anymore. I just wish there was somewhere in between. But the focus of this video here, guys, was the fact that skill-based matchmaking, believe it or not, is rampant here in the Black Ops 6 beta, and hopefully that was proven with the footage that you guys saw here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.